What's up, everybody? Kevin over at TTM Trades. How we doing today? First and foremost, do not take a position unless you are prepared to sustain a total loss. Your loss could include the money you invested as well as commission and transaction charges. The information I provide is for education and informational purposes only. The information provided is not intended to be and does not constitute financial advice, investment advice, trading advice, and any other advice. The information provided is general in nature and is not specified to you or anyone else. You should not make any decision, financial investment, trading, or otherwise based on any of the information presented without undertaking independent due diligence and consultation with a licensed professional. You understand that you are using this information at your own risk. With that ado, guys, let's get on into it. It's been overdue. Everybody wants to see this video. This video is going to be on the Ichimoku cloud. Okay, guys? Sorry, I'm just trying to fix it because I just wanted to get that disclaimer in. As of right here, we just have a blank. Sorry, guys. I've had a cold for the past week, but we have a blank price action on a blank chart. I have it set up like that because I'm going to go over each part of the cloud and tell you what it does and how we use it. Ichimoku means at a glance. You can find support, resistance, possible entries, exits, and future price action. Japanese people use it very religiously. It's a very, very, very good all-in-one tool, and it's pretty accurate. I mean, if you were just to use that tool, you can make money. You can do it. All right, so right here we have the cloud, and I'm gonna put the Siku span A and the Siku span B. Those are the outer edges of the actual cloud. The Siku span A, and the red one would be the lower portion, would be the Siku span B. Okay, I got 1 second here. So with that being ado, if the price action is above the cloud, it is bullish. If the price action is in the cloud, it is neutral. If it's below the cloud, the trend is considered bearish. So if the price is above the cloud, it is bullish. If it's in the cloud, it's neutral. If it's below, it's considered neutral. Since the price is above the cloud, our next level of support is the actual Siku span A. Alright, then the next level of support would be the Siku span B. The price falls below, it comes up, and you can see right here, this is the Siku span B. It actually acts as resistance. Okay, so the price comes in, actually blows through the Siku span B. Where does it get stopped at? The Siku span A. Couldn't hold it, comes back down, price sort of rests on the Siku span B. Now, as the price is above the cloud, everything below the price action is sort of considered support. And when the price is below the cloud, everything above the price action is considered to be resistance. So here we have a Tegensen line. This is basically the highest high and the lowest low for the past 9 periods, moving average basically. And this is actually the Kijinsen line. This is actually the highest high and the lowest low of the past 26 periods. Okay, so now as we see here, price breaks above the cloud. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. Alright guys. So as of right here, price breaks above the cloud, holds support on the actual Siku span B. Okay. Price comes up and it stays above. Normally when price moves away from the Tekinson line, it acts as a built-in RSI. And the price always wants to come back to it. And it acts as support. Since the price is, it comes here, boom. Okay, it's far away from the Tekinson line, it comes back. You know, price actually comes, sort of finds as support. Then when it actually falls below, the next level of support would be the Kijinsen line. But then when it comes back up, the Tekinson line will act as resistance. Okay, then the price breaks above it, and it holds the Tekinson line as actual support. But as of the moving averages, basically the Tekinson and the Kijinsen get close together, we actually do a cross. They call that a TK crossing. That actually tells me that the price is, the trend might be failing. So the next level of support would be our actual Siku span A. But if the price were to come back up, the Tekinson line would act as resistance, the Kijinsen line would act as resistance. Hang on, just let me fix this. So basically, we have our cloud with the Siku span A and the Siku span B. And when it goes from bearish to bullish, that's why you see the cloud, it flips like that. So then basically, because it's shifted 26 periods ahead, this over here is what's happening over here. Okay, so when we have this cloud that's forming, that this is a possible point where the price could actually come to without having resistance. But when I put the Tekinson and the Kijinsen line, price is actually far away. So I really want to see the price move towards the Tekinson line. And the actual Kijinsen line hasn't moved out of the cloud yet. So I'm going to take the cloud off and I'm going to show you another part of the cloud. This is called the Chiku span. Chiku span means late after the fact. Also called the lagging line. Basically what this does is you can find support and resistance. So if I'm looking over here, that's where the price stopped, I could put a support line. Okay, this is where we had some resistance. Okay, then we later found support. We had support here, support here. Okay, I'm looking right here, we had resistance right here, but then we had support right here. Okay, so just by me looking at this, I can, and it's shifted 26 periods back. So right now, it really didn't change, but the price actually had a little bit of support here. I would really want to see it make its edge up, but that's not the case right now, and especially with how the market was the past couple days, I really haven't been longing anything because whatever you want to say, 6 out of 10 stocks follow the market. So that being a do, if we have the Chiku span, we put the cloud on, Siku span B and A, Kijinsen and the Tekinsen line. Normally when we're bearish, so we're bearish back here, let me take this off so it doesn't confuse you so you can see it. So we're bearish because the price is below the cloud. Basically this built-in RSI, like I said, the price always wants to come back to it. Price actually gets above the Tekinsen line, and then it actually acts as support. Basically we get a TK crossing. That's basically a crossing of the moving averages. That tells us, hey, we might get out of a bearish movement. downtrend. So then it comes up to the cloud. The Siku span A acts as resistance. Then we actually break above. If you really zoom in, you could say that the Siku span B right here actually acted as resistance too, but it finally broke out. Then it acts as support. Okay? But if we put our Chiku span in, when we get our TK crossing, once the Chiku span actually pierces the cloud, that is almost confirmation that it's maybe going to move into a bullish trend. And also, when the actual Chiku span is above the price action, that's bullish. When it's in the price action, that means that it's sort of neutral. And when it's below the price action, that means that it's neutral. Okay? So when this line, you don't need to overanalyze it. I don't use all the stuff on the Ichimoku cloud. I basically just use the cloud to tell me if it is bullish or bearish. And I'll break it down in other time frames and I will actually use it. So if we were actually going to a 15-minute time period with the cloud, we're below the cloud. So what does that mean? We are bearish. I used to trade with the MACD very heavily on a a setting 5, 8, and 3. Even if you were to use this setting on the daily, it by far is 100% better than the other 12, 26, and 9. It's by far better. I mean, it's going to give you faster alerts and everything like that, but I'm not going to go over that and how to properly use the MACD with this. But so we sort of get prices below, so we're far away. Acts as wants to come in, acts as resistance, holds as support, but it can't hold it. We want to get a TK crossing, but this TK crossing was pretty weak, and I would have saw that with a MACD that it wasn't a bullish. It wasn't a bullish TK crossing because our signal and our moving average is actually below the zero line. But anyways, we're below the clouds, so we're bearish. This isn't something that I'm interested in. Then normally I would look at the 5-minute to see if we're above the cloud to give me confirmation that, hey, it might move above the cloud in the 15-minute. But as the 5-minute, we're below the cloud. So I'm not even interested in the stock right now. If we go back over here on a 5-minute time period, we had a TK crossing. We broke into the cloud, so we're sort of neutral. We don't know what's actually happening. Kijinsen holds it as support. It couldn't hold the Siku span A. We bust back above and we do a Kumo breakout. Okay? Price goes far from the Kijinsen line. Could have gotten a bounce right here, but as you can see that it couldn't really hold it. Then we do a TK crossing. Normally 5-minute charts, normally that has like an hour or two that the signals are actually good. 15 minutes is more than a few hours, but that's just basically the overview of it. I'm going to go back to the daily. So basically we know that the cloud is shifted 26 periods ahead of the price action. Our Chiku span, also known as the lagging line, is shifted 26 periods back. This can tell us support, resistance. It could also tell us if it is bullish or bearish just by looking at this line. And then we have our Siku span A and B. I'm not really going to get into that. That's basically a midpoint of the Kijinsen and the Kijinsen. The Siku span A and the Siku span B is basically a midpoint of a high and low of a 50 periods. I'm not going to get analysis paralysis figuring, like how do they get that number and stuff like that. That's just how they designed it. Then we have our Kijinsen. That's the highest high and the lowest low of 26 periods. And then we have our Kijinsen. Everything acts as support and resistance in this tool. So I hope this was beneficial. If you guys have any questions, you can just direct message me. And I hope you have a good day and hope that this actually was helpful.